Welcome back to Hardcore Hotline. Today we have our vinylses expert. We have Jason from Unoriginal Vinyl here to help us out with our numerous caller complaints about their orders. We get so many of them. So Jason, it's almost the holiday season. How are you feeling going into this with all of the orders backing up?
Things have never been busier and things have never been more delayed. So whatever you thought you were going to get under your holiday menorah,
Hmm.
tree, maybe tire, not going to happen. We're not even trying to hurry at this point. Who cares?
Yeah, oh, love that so much. We get so many calls from angry nerds who are upset over a variety of issues.
Mm.
So we thought we would take this time to talk through the top complaints that you get and how we can address them with our callers because as you know, customer service is paramount to our operations. So we're always trying to learn about whatever it is these losers are asking us about.
Happy to show you how little I care about their
Mm.
concerns.
Oh, that is perfect. That I think we actually have that written over the office. Yeah, Debbie put it up last week. Yeah. So, okay, so let's start with the big one. And this is pricing. The
Mhm.
economy is in shambles.
Yeah.
People are losing their jobs. Inflation is sky high. At least that's what we've heard in the outside world. We don't get much news in here. But why are you pricing things so highly?
Well, if you figure the equation of plastic that we would pour into a vinyl record and maybe some of the cardboard that we would use, try to equate it scientifically to the amount of gallons that you would put into a car's tank.
Mm,
So, what we're trying to do is as gas prices rise, so goes the cost of the vinyls that we sell and what we're charging for them. Let's say a normal vinyl record should cost 27, maybe $25 based on the cost of goods plus the shipping costs plus everything else. We're not in the business of uh, meeting expectations or certainly appeasing the fan community's wants to spend less money during the holiday season.
hmm.
We are keenly aware that they need to spend more money. They need to spend more money with us. They need to spend more money with the vinyls that they're going to enjoy for the next 6 months until they show up on the emo vinyl trading exchange on Facebook.
Yeah, that is an interesting tactic. Now, what happens when people who don't make a lot of money cannot buy those vinyl zizzes?
Sure, sure. I would recommend books because they're
Hmm.
in the wrong hobby. You know what I mean? They're not
Yeah.
about, I don't know, used bookstores. I have a Walden Books in
A
my back
Walden Books.
in my backyard. It's got a tunnel that you have to crawl through and
Okay.
it comes up underneath the shed. And inside of it, I kind of named it Walden Books, I'll be honest with you. However, we've got 347 copies of Goosebumps back issue.
Hmm.
I think that's a lot more economically responsible for a potential vinyl buyer to get into that hobby. Learn to read would be my recommendation.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually asking a lot of the hardcore community. Reading comprehension is a tough one for them. Moving on to our next one. People are receiving vinyl zizzes that have dents in the corners. They have creases. Do you do that on purpose?
Wow. I never thought you would bring this up. This brings up kind of like an emotional moment for me. So this is the
Mm.
moment where we have to take the tone down a little bit.
Oh,
Okay. So I
okay.
heard about this. I
Yeah.
heard about this from people out
From
there. I heard emails come across my email inbox where they were like sending emails to somebody who shipped a record to them and something happened to the corner of their record. And I
yeah.
was like, I feel that, I feel
Hmm.
that. I
Yeah.
feel what's happening.
Devastation. The
Uh,
devastation.
no, it's
No?
more like apathy. It's
Okay.
like,
All right. Just a different. We were going in this direction. You went in this one. That's fine. We're just looking at it differently. Um,
I
We were afraid that we would have to see a grown man cry for a moment, but I don't think we have
I
to.
want the best things for you and your vinyls.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Are
when
you sure?
the world is a hard place, and if this is the hardest thing that's happened to you
Hmm.
today,
Hmm.
I really look at that again,
Yeah.
evaluate what you consider to be a hard world and real world problems or something.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just a quick another question.
Oh, sorry. Go
What
ahead.
what sort just because I know that you're saying that people need to evaluate that there are harder things in life. What would you say is the hardest thing that you have ever had to experience? You're wearing a Hoobastank hat, so I'm not sure what the answer is.
When
The
I was at Furnace Fest of 2022 and 2021, I have dietary restrictions. So I found it difficult to eat the food in and around the vendor trucks. And
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I ended up doing was like going to Publix Market and buying a bunch of instant microwavable rice and heating it up in a microwave inside of my Courtyard Marriott hotel and bringing it with me and eating it out of a Ziploc bag. And that was really like hard for me. Okay.
Um, that sounds. There was that Cuban sandwich food truck that you never even got to experience. So
No,
I
no.
I don't think anyone here would want to experience that plight, especially not rice in a Ziploc bag. Besides the dents and the creases, you're also ruining the artwork of these original albums. Now, people hold these albums in such high regard. Their entire personality is based around that one album from 27 years ago. So you are going in and you're basically destroying their entire personality. How do you respond to that? We get that from our callers so often.
I would really recommend that anybody out there who's watching this right now go through multiple personality changes
Hmm.
as often as possible. So
Okay.
reinvent yourself, like be into something other than hardcore. Sorry, no offense. I don't want to say that. Never mind. Let me take that back. Let me rewind.
Something
There's nothing else
other?
out there. Don't ever, I'm telling you this right now as a friend and as somebody who's also offering sage wisdom and advice. Never listen to shoegaze because it's a deep well and a portal you'll never come back from, especially
Okay.
out of hardcore music. You're never going to find your way out of that. It's a terrible, terrible place to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, what I would say to the people who feel I've ruined everything about their identity through the
Mm-hmm.
artwork that I've made is
Mm-hmm.
you don't always just have to listen to music on vinyl. You can do other things. Like, there's probably some sort of, I don't know, ownership involved in the original artwork that has to do with why decisions like that have to be made and why the original streamings maybe images you see with the artwork associated to an album stay intact while reissues also can maybe try to gussy up a little bit of the presentation method. But I'm not speaking to everybody here. What I'm trying to say is you are beautiful. You're a beautiful person.
Oh. Before we end,
Uh-huh.
there's a couple more questions. One of the biggest complaints that we have received, that we still continue to receive, is the way that you conducted yourself at Furnace Fest, where
Oh,
you didn't have a merch booth,
mhm.
and instead you sent vinyls as enthusiasts on a wild goose chase to the end of Merch Mall to find people in shirts,
Mm,
to give them pieces of paper instead of what they wanted, which was the physicality
right.
of the vinyls is and the camaraderie that you get from waiting in line for hours.
Hours and hours missing your
Mm,
favorite artists
yeah,
and ruining the experience of bringing a vinyl record into a mosh pit and creating
yeah.
personal
Mm-hmm.
dog
Mm-hmm.
ear
Mm-hmm.
on the ends of your records. We took
Yeah.
and stole that experience from you and said
It's
instead you can just meet me for 4 minutes and then go off on your merry way, eat your Cuban sandwiches, eat your microwavable rice at your favorite band's set for the rest
uh-huh.
of the fest.
Uh-huh.
What a way to ruin their fun. Uh,
Yeah.
That's kind of what we do best. If I'm being honest with you, the last
Hmm.
couple of years we've been at Furnace Fest, we did
Hmm.
a book that tried to ruin everybody's fun as much as possible.
Yes,
A lot of people
yes.
found themselves in the book and they were
Mhm.
like, you didn't have me sign the artist release form to put me inside of this book.
Exactly.
Who do you think you are? How dare you? I don't want my children to find this book at Barnes and Noble
Mhm.
and Walden Books and buy it and then see their mother's photo inside of it. This is
No one wants that.
unacceptable. And so, yeah, I mean, basically, we're there to, if Furnace Fest is a community gathering place, and it's a place
Sure.
where people holistically can feel themselves embodied in the true spirit of hardcore music in a beautiful sense, in a really togetherness community sense.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
represent the antithesis of that. We represent
Yeah.
the spirit of disunity, of chaos, of trying to make people feel confused about where they are in life, where they are in, I don't, directionally
Hmm.
inside of a small venue space. More
Absolutely.
importantly, how can they find these people wearing a robot t-shirt who have the thing that I kind of sort of don't really want, but I know maybe somebody online might want in 10 months from now, that I can resell for potentially the cost of a Furnace Fest ticket admission.
Right.
So that's where we found our groove, is
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
unhappiness of the community,
Yeah. Yeah.
disappointment of not being there and not getting to buy that record in spite of being able to end up buying that record anyways. We love to float in that space.
What a great space to be in. You know, the hardcore community just just is directionally challenged. It is and also challenged in so many other ways. So for you to give them even more is
It's a joy. It's a joy.
it's quite noble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noble is the right word for us, I think. If you were to put a couple adjectives, greedy,
Hmm.
capitalist,
Yeah.
Walden Books,
Yes.
noble, all of those adjectives would be the perfect description for Unoriginal Vinyl.
Mm, yeah.
Love. In fact, we named ourselves this, to be honest with you, just to have kind of more syllables in our name than the average record label. So, like Solid Day Records or To the Nail Records might have 5 syllables in their total name. Unoriginal Vinyl, we have 7.
Yeah. What even is a syllable? I mean, honestly.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Let's get to the big surrounding issue that we don't quite understand. Why why do people collect so many vinyls? We see so many people shouting from the rooftops, I have thousands of vinyls.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? Why do they do that? It takes up so much space.
The reality of the situation has more to do with the Home Builders Association than you realize. Most of the Home Builders Association in and around, say, all of the country are
Uh-huh.
building suburbs faster than the landscaping will support. So there's oftentimes what we call shifting soil underneath the ground. Oh,
Let me get a notepad. Let me write this
yeah, yeah.
down.
Start. Okay. There's something called bentonite. Bentonite is shifting soil. And if you're a geologist, like I am a hobby geologist, you'll learn that bentonite creates foundational cracks inside of the home builders associations. So home builders associations and architectural design firms who are building planned communities for suburbs are in cahoots with the vinyl community, people like myself, and they want more foundational weight to be placed on the ground's basement floors, let's call them, not subfloors, but truly basement floors that can flood very easily. For example, we need to settle the ground a little bit with more weight. So 2,000, 3,000 records, if you equate a record to a pound of record, you've suddenly got an extra sprawled out foundation set that is better than lumber, that is better than poured concrete. If you put 2,000 pounds worth of weight into your basement,
Uh-huh.
metal records, you have thus saved insurance companies, architecture, suburban house builders from the need to go in and pay insurance claims against city foundation cracks houses. It's a very simple, easy to understand, not against CRC 5 legislation. Does that make sense? We're trying to essentially bolster this urban planned building communities populace. That's really what we're doing. That's original.
Of course. Of course. That it looking at our notes, that all makes sense. We'll move on from that. We'll just wrap things up. So what we're getting
Yeah.
is that unoriginal vinyls
Mhm.
is as yes. Um, you don't like poor people very much.
Maybe you're not the ideal demo for what we're trying to do, which is premium garbage, retrospectives, cool art, restoration that can also be adapted to t-shirts and social media marketing, that might not be your thing.
Okay, well, we will let them know for sure. So, is there anything else that you would like to leave us with? We're
So
all ears,
I'm
unfortunately.
I don't really love vinyl even at all, even. So
Mm,
I'm like I said, I mentioned books. I love books. There's this
yeah.
live coffee table book
Hmm.
with tons and photos of you potentially in them. Uh,
Okay.
from this festival, Furnace Fest. If you guys have been,
Yeah.
there's people that signed my copy of the book.
Oh,
Like,
wait, does it have words in it?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a prerequisite required reading would be that you know how to read before
Oh,
this book. Tough, I get it. But
okay.
it is going to be part of a Black Friday sale,
Hmm.
which offers a pretty substantial discount on the book. We want to sell as many books as possible, and the vinyl fan community doesn't particularly always love the idea of having to read things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we want to offer a little extra incentive. That's available at unoriginal vinyl /myshopify.com.
Hmm.
That would be a
Hmm.
good place to look for the Dead Alive Restorative Spirit of Furnace Fest book, which we spent, I don't
Restorative.
know, the better part of a year working on to make, I don't know, fans feel included in the process. I don't know why we
Hmm.
did it that way. Didn't need to do it that way, probably.
Eh.
But
Fans. Yeah, they're a special breed.
yeah, we're grateful for the opportunity that anyone provides us to do art design and restoration for projects outside of vinyl. We can do documentary films. We produced and worked on the Pick It Up Ska in the 90s documentary, which, if you've never seen, is available somewhere. And it's
Hmm.
the history of ska music in the 90s. Who doesn't want to spend 90 plus minutes talking about ska? I
Who?
know you don't.
Whomst among us?
But apart from that, we're here. We're probably not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Oh.
We're going to continue bathing in money,
Yeah, as you
like we always
do.
have and always probably will, because that's just kind of who we are.
Hmm.
Hoobastank for life. I found a reason for me to change who I used to be. And the reason is Hoobastank. Never will not be Hoobastank. There's probably going to be more times I say that, and you can maybe nail it to my grave.
Okay, well, thank you so much to Jason from Unoriginal Vinyls. We're just gonna keep on going because it makes you mad. And we'll see you next time.